Hello and welcome to the presentation of hash-based cryptography. The hash-based cryptography creates digital signature algorithm whose security is mathematically based on the security of the selected cryptographic hash function. Here is the index for the presentation. The hash-based cryptography provides the secured and the reliable way to encrypt and decrypt your data. It also provides the verification of the digital signature, and it also offers cryptographic solution that can withstand the attack from the quantum computers. Hash-based cryptography, establishing the mutual secret key using a key agreement protocol that relies on the hash functions. The Merkle scheme to sign and verify message using the shared secret key. This scheme uses the hash tree to generate a signature that is secured against both quantum and classical attacks. Here is the main hash function that we need to use. Here is the private key and here is the public key. This is the hash function that we need to use. This matrix will be taken into consideration in the next slide. Here is the digital signature generation. If we have this message as hello, the hashing function will give us 101. As we have discussed in the previous slide, the matrix will be such that for the first bit, this is for the second bit, and this is for the third bit. As we all know, for quantum computers, the superposition will take place, and so 0 and 1 can be the two case. According to previous slide, this matrix was 0 1 0, 1 1 0, 1 1 1, 0 0 1, 0 1 1 and 1 0 1. So taking this 1 as the first bit and this 110 will come into picture, which is here. Taking the second bit as 0, for this bit taking this as 0, 111 will come into picture. So this is the answer. And for the third bit, which is 101, this 101 will come into picture, and so this is the answer. So by this we have generated the signature for our message hello. This is the verification scheme. Now here, if we have this hello as the message, keeping the hash function into picture, we have 101, and after that we have this matrix after applying the public key. Similarly, for the signature that we have considered, which is matrix this, after applying this hash function we will get this matrix. Now if both the matrix are similar, then we will say that this is verified. That means this message is not tampered by anyone, and if this message is tampered by anyone, then we will not get here 101, and so after applying the public key on this 101 we will not get this matrix, and so in that case this matrix and this matrix will not be similar, so it is not verified. By this way the verification takes place here. This is the Merkle signature scheme. As we have discussed in the previous slide, the public key and the private key comes into picture the same time. So here we have 8 sets of public key as well as the private key. So this 8 leaf nodes are settled. This is after applying the hash function on the public key as well as private key. Now if we want to combine this hash function, how to do that? Both the leaf node combines and give us this leaf node. Similarly, this leaf node will combine with this leaf node and give us this, and after this we'll get the whole public key as an answer. So by this method the key generation for the Merkle scheme comes into picture. Now what is passed as an argument in the signature? The signature has this argument of this index. Now what is this index? This index can be written as 1, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7. Then this IDX, this index is here 1, because we are considering this leaf node as our answer, so index will be 1. This is the signature, this is the public key, and these 3 red dots are these 3 red dots which we will take into consideration, because at the receiver side we will also need to construct this full tree. So these 3 nodes are required on the receiver side. Now we will see how the receiver will behave at his side. Now as the receiver will have this index as an answer, and he will know by this index and the first red node. After having this red node and this index, he will be able to construct this node, and he will also have this red node from here, so he will be able to consider this node, and because of this node from here he will be able to consider this node, and after applying such in the public key, he will be able to consider the whole tree as an answer. Now this Merkle scheme also has some limitation or some challenges that we need to face. The first challenge which we need to face is that here is the tree that we need to consider, so the generation time will be much larger, and here we have this leaf node which is 2n. So the time which we need to consider is the time of h, which is nearly log n to the base 2. This is the main issue. Or the second thing which we need to consider is that private key size. If the height is in the order of 10 raised to 3, then 2 raised to 1000 will be a very great number, and so the preserving of the key size will be a great issue for us. Similarly, what we have observed in the earlier slide is that if we consider this index, then similarly this node will also be considered over here. So if the height is h, which is equal to log n to the base 2, then here the number of node which we need to consider is order of n minus 1. So if n is larger, then this size will be an issue. Considering the signature generation of WOTS, if this is the private key, that is sk of 1, similarly this is sk of 2, and here is sk of l. Applying the chaining function over here. Now what is chaining function? Chaining function, it takes the argument as a public key or a string, which can be a binary string, and it changes, the chaining function changes that binary string according, so that it can we can have pseudo randomness in the output of that chaining function. So these all are considered to be the pseudo random keys that we have got. This is the message, this whole is the message, and this is the checksum. We also have the public key and the private key which has the length of L, public key and private key which has the length of L, and if we consider this as L1, which is message is having the length L1, then we'll consider the L2 as the checksum. So L1 plus L2 will give us L, and so we will have 3 things: the message, the public key and the private key, which is also in the base W form. Now how we'll get this signature? As we have discussed in the above slide, this is the private key. We'll apply the chaining function, and if we consider this step to be the step of M1, then here we will get the signature of 1. Similarly, if we consider the time till here, we will get signature of 1, and here what we'll get, considering this signature 1 and chaining function in all these above variable nodes, we will get here the public key. Also this length is w minus 1. So if we consider this as the sign 1 length, then this length we'll need to take as w minus 1 minus sign of 1. See, here is an example. If we consider this first bit and this is the length of m1 that we have considered as sign of 1, then this length would be considered as w minus 1 minus m1. That will be w minus 1 minus sign of 1. This is signature, but here we have considered this as length. The XMSS scheme, that is extended Merkle signature scheme, we have shown that there are many challenges or many limitations to the Merkle scheme. So we have introduced the extended Merkle signature scheme as follows. The XMSS is the post-quantum secured digital signature scheme that is designed to resist the attack by the quantum computers. We have this XMSS security where this f is the function which is the pseudo-random function, and this h is the second pre-image resistance for the XMSS call, which will help us in the security of the XMSS. The challenge is solved by XMSS. Now the first thing that I would need to tell is that small signature size. Here, as we know that this public key is the function of the signature, so if we pass this signature, then we will not need this public key to be passed, so the size of the signature will get reduced. So smaller signature size, this is one of the advantage that we can consider. Also XMSS secret key size, the MSS, that is Merkle signature scheme, takes the secret key size or private key size as the order of 2 raised to n, but the XMSS size will not be so large, but the signature key of WOTS is calculated by the pseudo-random function f. The size of the secret key is not dependent on the length of the message. Now let's look at the XMSS public key generation. Here we will consider T layers of tree, and each layer consists the tree of height h. Now if we consider this as an example, these 4 are the leaf node, and we'll see that the only the lowest level of the tree is used to sign the document, and the inner level tree will sign the lower level tree root node. Means these nodes is used to sign the document, these leaf nodes is used to sign the document, and the inner nodes is used to sign the node of the second tree. I will explain this through a better example in the next slide. Suppose we consider this as an example. If we consider this as the root node and these two are the children, then signing the root node of the lower level means this node is used to sign the node which is to the lower level, and we'll get this node. After this This node consists of these two children, which are the leaf node, and is used to sign the document. So we'll consider this as first layer, and we will consider this as the second layer. So the cost is reduced by the greater number if we move to the h as the power of 10 raised to 3 or 10 raised to 4. The Merkle signature scheme, that is MSS, produces the tree size of 2 raised to h, so the cost is 2 raised to h. But the XMSS scheme, that is extended Merkle signature scheme, that considers the generation of T trees and generates T trees of height 2 raised to h by t, so the total cost will be t raised to t into 2 raised to h by t. Now we will see the size of the MSS signature scheme. The signature that we have to consider contains the index in its argument. If we consider this tree as an example, which has 4 of its leaf node, and if the number of leaf node is equal to 2 raised to h, then we know that to represent this 2 raised to h node, we need to have the identification which has minimum of h bits. So identification of this index will require h bits. Also, this public key is the function of this message length, and so it will require this message length bit. Also, the security level is b, so 2b is multiplied with it. The signature is the function of message length, so it will require the order of m space. Also, these arguments node are taken into consideration. We know that for each level we will have at least one argument node. If we select this node, then we need to consider this as an argument node. Also, if we consider this node, then we need to consider this as an argument node. Then we will reach to the node. So here, if the height is 3, then we will have 2 argument node. Similarly, if the height is h, then we will have h minus 1 as the argument node. So here we have multiplied h with the security level, and we have got the size of the MSS signature scheme. Also, if we consider the size here, then during the filtration of the MSS scheme, due to some algorithm and the construction of tree, we have reduced the argument of the node from the size of h into 2b to h into b. The construction of the node is such that in the Merkle signature scheme, the left and the right child combine with the hash function to give the parent root node. But here, the left and the right child combines with the bit mask XOR with the answer, and the hash function is applied, and so the root is considered and taken into picture. Here, if we consider the size of XMSS scheme, then the height is taken, which is constant. Also, we know that this public key is the function of the signature scheme. Public key, it is the function of the signature scheme, so node need to pass this public key as the signature, so the size is 0. And also we know that this signature, here we are considering the Lamport-Diffie scheme, and so order of m space should be required over here. But here in XMSS scheme, we are considering the WOTS scheme that we have studied in the previous slide, and so order of m is not required, but b into m divided by log of w is required. So this is the change made by the signature scheme XMSS, which is very beneficial. Authorization path. The native approach would involve either computing of storing 2 raised to h nodes The BDS algorithm can be used to control the time and memory trade-off by adjusting the value of the parameter k. So the time is nearly equal to h minus k divided by 2 and the memory is nearly equal to 5.5 h minus 5k minus 2 raised to k. Here is the conclusion. We can conclude that XMSS is the promising candidate for post-quantum secured digital signature. It relies on the security of the underlying hash function. XMSS has several advantages over other post-quantum schemes and has been included in various standards. Thank you.